What's going on, YouTube? This is SirAllAboutMusic. I actually don't own Accelerate, but I have listened to it many times. So instead of playing Accelerate for you, I am playing stuff off of Dead Letter Office. Good stuff. Anyway, Accelerate, the last album in the REM discography, and I am done. I'm finished. This humongous project that I've undertaken is done, and I'm really excited to get this done, and I'll be doing one more video for REM after I'm done with this one. So, Accelerate. This album is actually really hard to explain because REM follows along the same path that they did in Around the Sun, trying to touch back on their old stuff, but they do a better job this time. But I don't know what it is about this album, but I just don't like it. I have to admit that it's closer to their original sound than Around the Sun, but I don't like this album at all. And I actually can't explain it. Like, listening to this album just bothers me a lot. It gets annoying sometimes, and just you know, and I think one of the reasons is Michael Stipe's vocal melodies. The melodies that he chooses are just too REM. And what I mean by that is that he doesn't. It's like he's stuck on, you know, 5 vocal patterns, and that's all he can do with this album, and it just gets annoying. It really gets annoying, and I like the fact that this album is more guitar based, and there's some really, like, you know, you can definitely hear the Peter Buck, that awesome guitar player who captured our interest with these really awesome riffs. You can hear him in there, but then again, you can't. And the whole album has this kind of modernized sound to it. It's not, you know, and that's one of the reasons why it kind of fails in touching back on REM's earlier stuff. So the album is disappointing. It really is. And I have to say that this is one of their worst albums. Really. Yeah. It's pretty bad. So, let's go to originality. Originality, by this, you know, with this album, I'm just going to arbitrarily assign random numbers. Originality gets a 26. No, alright. In all seriousness, originality gets a 6. You know, pretty much for the same reason that Around the Sun got a 6. How much I like this, it gets a 1. And a 1 is an album that I never listened to. I never listened to Accelerate. That's why I don't own it. So, yeah. So, you know what? No, I'll take that back, because honestly, even though I said that New Adventures in Hi-Fi isn't their worst album, it is. And I gotta give Accelerate better than Hi-Fi, because that album sucks. So let's look at the list. I'll give it a 4. Listen to it for 30% of the music, just so it beats Hi-Fi, because I really hate that album more than this one. This is the second worst album, in my opinion, by REM. Alright, so that's how much I like the music. Production it's boring production. It's not glossy, but it doesn't have an edge. It's kind of stuck in the middle. Kind of like floaty. And, yeah, so, production. The flow is hard to describe. No, it's not hard to describe. It's that I just can't discern a flow in here. I can't discern a bad flow or a good flow in here. Like, the flow is... There are little deviations along the path of the album, but they're not noticeable enough to make an impact on what you're hearing. So it's not stagnant and boring, but it's not, you know, interesting to listen to. So flow, we'll go with a 5 on that. So yeah, Accelerate, released 2008. Yeah, there's not really a lot I can say on this album, you know. And by this time, you know, when Accelerate came out, I wasn't very thrilled. I was like, oh no, another one. Oh. But it's a fair attempt. I mean, I'm not gonna rag on him for it. It's a fair attempt. It really is. It just sucks. They didn't do a very good job. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And I am done. I am done. I'm gonna do one more video over REM, talking about their influence on, you know, independent movement and what they've done. But I am finished. So this is SirAllAboutMusic. Leave a comment in the comments section. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like. If there's a certain album you want me to review, shoot me a PM and subscribe. If you like what you see, subscribe. That's all I gotta say. I will see you guys later.